calls out Carlos King and says, you know, Carlos was the producer of RHOA for all those years, and she calls him out and says, and I loved having Carlos on, and I loved my interview with Carlos. She calls him out and says that basically he was shopping the story of Escape, which is her story. You know, it was her band, and that she could never forgive him for that. I don't know. I get it. I get why Kandi would never forgive him. I don't really blame. I mean, this is Hollywood. Like, nothing shocks me. So I don't know. I don't like two people that I really like fighting. So there was that. The other thing is the OG show that everyone is so, I stand by this. I said this at the beginning. I still think that, you know, we're not getting the OG show until the first one is filmed. Now, if you think about it, that was, Sarah's coming back in. That was like over a year and a half ago. I've just been talking. I've been talking and like telling them everything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, keep going.
I talked about Carlos and Kandi, and I just said, like, you know, I feel like I see, yeah, sure. I'm sure Carlos did that. And I understand why Candy's mad. And I also understand why Carlos did it. It's just an unfortunate situation. But now I'm talking about the OG show with RHONY that, like I said, in the beginning, I said, it's not about me. I said, it's going to be 2.5 to 3 years before this OG show goes. And what has it? I think it's already been like a year and a half since RHONY ended, something like that. Now we're going to have to announce this new cast, which normally starts filming like now in August. So we're going to announce this at BravoCon. We'll start filming, I think, right after that. I don't think they're filming. And then they have to film all of that. And then they have to air all of that. It will be like 2.5 to 3 years before the OG show comes on. I'm standing by that. It's already like half of 3 years. We're going with the reboot first. And I don't know, by that time, is anybody, I mean, Ramona is going to be fucking like 69, 70. I mean, I'm not age shaming, but just like, I don't know. At some point, I mean, everyone wants RHONY. Of course, we'll take it. Of course, we'll take it. But I've said this from day one. I stand by it. If this reboot comes back and blows people away, I think this OG show is really like 6 episodes. That's it.
Well, I mean, wait a minute. I mean, don't we have, we know, of course, they're kind of under the same umbrella, but I mean, Luann and Sonia have inked a deal with E, right? I mean,
filmed it. That show is coming. I mean, you know, and mind you, a lot of people I know said, fuck the new RHONY reboot. We ain't watching. Like, go announce it. We're not watching. So maybe if that's a huge failure, yeah, long live the OGs. But Luann and Sonia's show, I imagine, would be coming, if I had to take a guess, like November, December. Yeah, November, December, January. Slip into our DMs. Are you excited for the Simple Life Sonia and Luann version? Maybe you are. I'm not, no shade. But is anyone, it's going to be them meeting guys in Iowa and then heading on over to Kansas and then going to the local watering hole. I don't know. You guys excited for that? Like, I'm really, there's no the local watering hole. I'm like, there's no shade. I really just, are people excited? I haven't talked to any that are, but tell me you are, you know?
Could go either way, I guess. Could go either way. I mean, it would have to be something really, really interesting, I guess.
E needs a hit, honey.
E needs I mean, look,
they canceled Morgan Stewart and the Daily Pop. They canceled that.
A lot of insider talk.
Remember when you and I were like pitching stuff and everyone's like, nobody wants that formula anymore. It's played out. This is,
well, I'll tell you this from somebody here in Hollywood in the business. They claim those shows were actually doing well, ratings wise, but they have had so many CEO turnovers at E, meaning the head of E. I think they're on their third, I can't even remember if it's their third or their fifth CEO in like 5 years, like literally somebody new every year. So what I'm hearing inside here in Hollywood is that those shows did well, but the person who is now running E wants to put their own signature on it. So has literally canceled all the old programming And she is going to start new with her own programming, wants her own stamp, wants her own. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes that works. I was in radio for years. That was always the thing. Whenever a new general manager came in or a new program director, usually they brought their people. They fired everybody. They brought their people. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. I actually heard those shows were doing well, which to me,
I like Morgan Stewart.
Yeah, me too. I mean, she had a good connection to, Dr. Phil. She's married to Dr. Phil's son. I mean, and on her own, I thought she was a good journalist. And those shows have kind of been, I mean, E! News had been its legacy thing. I don't know. I mean, I just always find it hard to believe if those shows were doing well. I mean, why did they cancel them? Really? They canceled them over ego? I mean, I would think they would just leave, but they're in big trouble. I mean, they need all new programming, and it's
they're definitely in trouble. They need new programming, but that's the whole right. Why would you cancel them? Do you know?
I don't know. I always, to me,
that's ego. Right? No, I just want to put my own stamp on it, and Morgan's doing well and I'm going to fire. I mean, it would be like, woo, one less fire I have to put out. You guys, whatever you're doing, don't talk to me. Just go and do it.
I would think, right? Unless the cost, I mean, but I would think the cost has to be cheap. They're shooting it in a studio with basically like a green screen. I mean, I don't know. I find that so hard to believe, but
have you pitched us? Have you pitched us yet for this new?
No, I should. This new format of, I will.
Right. This new regime that you talk of, where are we?
Done. We need a name for our show. And what is our 30-minute or hour-long show going to be?
Whatever you want, darling. I don't even care. Whatever it is that you want. Anything else on your minds? Have we covered everything?
Oh my God, we covered so much. I just feel like it is a great time to be a Bravo fan right now. The shows are so good. There's so much to talk about every single week. It's just like nugget. I mean, I can't wait for the return of Salt Lake City, of Potomac. I think is going to be so good. Yes, I mean, I love it. Look, David, I look forward to these shows so much because the 40 minutes or the hour, however long we go, flies. So good.
Well, I'm glad we could take you away from your TLC. Where can everyone find you online that would like to hear your TLC stuff?
Find me on TikTok at The Sarah Fraser Show, and you can listen to my podcast. I put out new episodes 7 days a week. Sarah Fraser Show podcast, Apple, Spotify, everywhere pods are played.
And I am at Behind Velvet Rope. Follow me everywhere, including TikTok. Why aren't you guys following me on TikTok? I would love to see you on TikTok. Love you, Sarah. Next week, same place, same time, girl.
Hi, gorgeous. See ya.
Bye.